Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, California Weather Watch. Today is September 1st, and right now we are looking at the mid-level water vapor loop. We're going to play through yesterday here. You can see our upper level low off the coastline. Here is the state of California where I am circling. If we put this into motion, and you can see that we did build up some thunderstorm activity across the Peninsula Range, up towards the Transverse Range, desert areas just off to the north and east of the Salton Sea, across portions of Nevada and Arizona as well. So we scroll through the afternoon and the evening hours here, and then you can see that finally come to an end. But yeah, we had a couple rounds of thunderstorm activity out there across the desert, and you can see the upper level low pivoting towards the coastline here as we went through last night and very early this morning. You can also see it start to spin up some convection here across the Oregon Cascades and extreme northern California. This may kick off a few thunderstorms as well. I'll show you that here in the high resolution models in a moment. And apologize for yesterday. I did go out chasing here across Washington State, so I did not put out a video yesterday, but that should be the exception from this point on and not the norm. I should be doing these briefings on a daily basis for the most part. Taking a look at the Hanford National Weather Service talking about that coffee pot fire. We've been talking about this for a while, but it has a chance to start to bring some of the smoke down into the I-5 valley here, and so we're watching for that. I'll show you the high resolution model on that here towards the end of the video. Taking a look at Sunday's forecast here, this is Sacramento National Weather Service, and they do have this fire weather watch, and there could even be a couple lightning strikes here as we go with that upper level low now pivoting towards the area. So heads up for that. It does include Reno and gets right up towards South Lake Tahoe and extreme northeast California. Now, taking a look at potential high temperatures, increased heat risk today through Friday. Los Angeles, check it out, even Thursday and Friday, mid-90s. Look at Palmdale, 105. And yeah, not too bad out there. Santa Barbara, much cooler there, of course, closer to the coastal areas. But look at the Woodland Hills, 112 there by Thursday, September 5th. Now, taking a look at the isolated mountain storms, the SPC does not show this, so I want to point this out and make it clear that there is a chance, again, for thunderstorm activity for tomorrow here across the higher terrain. You can see Big Bear Lake is right there. Now, if we take a look at the SPC's official forecast, this is for today. It does not include California, but just pretty close to the border there. Here's Phoenix, and there's Las Vegas right there. And day 2, it does maybe include some of the east slopes of the Sierra Nevada, and I'll show you some of that here in the weather models in a moment as well. So here is our upper level low. This is at 18,000 feet or 500 millibars. And you can see the Hawaiian Islands in the bottom left. You can see the state of California right here. There's the upper level low swinging through here and keeping our temperatures a bit suppressed for some essential and northern California, but then you'll see the ridge rebuild here as we go on in through the mid portion of next week. So we are going to remain warm, and we're going to warm things back up again. As you can see as I scroll through here, this GFS is actually running hot off the presses, but pretty substantial looking ridge building as we go on into the mid and the later portions of next week. Now, if we take a look at the European, what we're looking for here is thunderstorm activity. We have the upper level low right there, and you can see it does fire off. Maybe a couple showers across the Sierra Nevada here today, out towards Las Vegas, probably higher terrain there as well. And then we scroll on in through Monday, and you see this shower activity there. So do not, don't be surprised by that if you're out across some of the Sierra Nevada and the backcountry, and even some of the Peninsula Range here, and again, maybe some of the Transverse Range, some of the desert areas, you can trigger a thunderstorm or two. So just kind of keep that in the back of your mind. And then if we scroll on in through Tuesday, maybe one more shower there. You see it right there across the Sierra Nevada, so don't sleep on that stuff. And then eventually it looks like it starts to come to a bit of an end here as we go through Wednesday. Maybe another shower there or two. We'll see how that goes. We'll revisit that again tomorrow. But looking at lightning flash density potential, the high resolution rapid refresh not quite as bullish on some of the shower activity as we go through this afternoon. You notice it doesn't show anything for the Sierra Nevada. Keeps a little bit of potential across some of Nevada here. But then as we go through late tonight into tomorrow morning, this again with that fire weather watch danger out there could produce, maybe a dry lightning strike out there as we go on into tomorrow morning. That pushes off. And then you can see Monday afternoon, maybe a couple strikes for the Sierra Nevada again, according to the high resolution model. So looking at the GFS, I want to kind of show you this because this is temperature anomaly. You can see the upper level low, keeping things suppressed a bit here. But for Southern California, and even for that matter, some of Central California is above average. But then take a look as that upper level low gets out of here and we rebuild this ridge across the region. Look at some of these temperatures well above average as we go on in through the upcoming week here. Now, it's substantially so as we go through about September 5th, 6th time frame there. pretty widespread heat for a vast majority of the state of California. Maybe some of the coastal areas here will escape that, but for the most part, it looks like pretty warm upcoming here. And this is the raw data for the GFS on the 0Z run. You can see the Los Angeles International. It's relatively cooler, of course, than other stations that are inland, but still pretty warm as we go through this upcoming week. Now, if you go towards Burbank, you can clearly see the hundreds are going to be returning as we go through the mid and later portion of the week here and staying pretty warm through the extended forecast. This is downtown Los Angeles, actually 0.7 degrees above average for the month of August. I just want to point that out. No precipitation was recorded there. This is for Burbank. Check it out. You can see that it is warmer on the inland locations here. And 0.7 again above average for the month coming for the month of August. But also no precipitation was recorded. Now, if we take a look at Palm Springs, this is for the next 2 weeks as well. Pretty typical this time of year. Some pretty warm conditions to be had out there over the 14-day or 15-day time forecast on the GFS there. And if we look at Palm Springs for the month of August, actually 2 degrees above average. Look at all these 100-degree temperatures every single day. Had a high above 100 degrees and no precipitation. Actually, just a trace on August 1st there. And there were 2 days. You see that little 3 here? That means a thunderstorm was reported. Just no precipitation was associated with those storms. If we take a look at San Diego International Airport, pretty close to the coastline here as well, warming up quite nicely as we go towards the end of the week. Check it out. Maybe some 90s coming in here. And then we take a look at San Diego, 1.2 above average for the month of August. No precipitation, just a trace on a couple days there. Did they report a thunderstorm? They did not, but they did report dense fog on one of the days there. That little 2 there shows that. So take a look at Fresno. Check it out. Warmth is upcoming here for the next 2 weeks as well. And I want to kind of show you this because this is the Climate Prediction Center nailing some of the extended forecasts. This is published back on May 16th, 2024. This is for June, July, and August. And you see the heat. West Coast, South, and Northeast, and some of the Southeast as well. And then look at what actually occurred. Really nailed that forecast. I mean, you really got to give kudos to that very accurate forecast from the Climate Prediction Center. I mean, that is just really nailing it here. They had equal chances for this area. So yeah, pretty good stuff there. And this is the experimental product from the Climate Prediction Center. It does show some excessive heat moderate as we go on into the first week of September. And you can see, the excessive heat slight does include much of the state of California and Arizona and Nevada for that matter as well. And this kind of threw me for a loop here. Risk of high winds. I don't see much here. I just see kind of the typical diurnal cycle as things warm up and some of these stronger winds come through. So I'm not sure why they did that. I went ahead and took a look on the European there, but it looks like I don't see any strong Santa Ana wind events is I guess what I'm trying to say here. Just kind of the typical diurnal cycle where you get the westerlies coming in here and you can see them kind of flooding through the Bay areas. The valleys heat up as you go through the evening and nighttime hours and whatnot, but I don't see any big wind event here coming across the state of California. So always watching for the Santa Ana wind events and some of the Diablo wind events and these offshore wind events once we get into the month of September. Don't see anything yet. Now, taking a look at the 500 millibars, I checked this as well to kind of see if anything was going on. There goes our upper level low. Ridge rebuilds here, and we do have a little bit of an upper level low that starts to show up as we go through the extended forecast. I don't know, maybe they're thinking that will increase the gradient a little bit there. But anyway, I digress, trying to figure out their mind on that one. Now, taking a look at the 2-meter maximum temperatures here. So with the upper level low, we keep things suppressed here on and through tomorrow a bit. Again, for some of Central and Northern California, the Sacramento Valley. But then we start to really bounce things back on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You guys get the picture here. Hundreds widespread returning for the valley areas and even warming up on the coastal areas as well. Then we go Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and maybe a little bit of a hope for some cool down as we go on into the end of next weekend. Now, the coffee pot fire, we talked about this at the beginning of the video here, and this thing has become quite the nuisance. It's producing quite a bit of smoke across the Sierra Nevada. It's getting down to some of the valley areas, even out towards the coastal range as well. And if we put that into motion, you can kind of see it is producing quite a bit of smoke. So if you are smelling smoke, it is most likely from the coffee pot fire. You can kind of pinpoint your exact location here and, see where that smoke is moving. That's 8-meter above ground smoke. And you may be seeing smoke on a much wider basis than that because surface smoke, of course, is much more rare versus what is going on through the upper levels of the atmosphere. But if we look here at the coffee pot fire, it did grow by about 1,200 acres, but I don't think this has been updated for a while, so it's probably even larger by now because it is producing quite a bit of smoke. But anyway, Again, yeah, I hope you guys are having a good day. Watch out, high terrain there, thunderstorm potential across some of the Sierra Nevada. But otherwise, we aren't looking at anything other too crazy here for the short-term forecast, except for the heat, and then and potentially lasting for an extended period. But we will continue to watch things. We'll break things down day by day. Hope you guys are enjoying the channel. Click like and subscribe. We'll do this all again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.